Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Jurassic World's Alive. I'm saying it like I don't do anything else different. That's all I do. Anyway, it's a bit of a different video today. I'm not actually playing my game. If anything, I wanted to chat about the pre-release notes for update 1.8. Now, I think this is the biggest update we've ever had, from what I can remember. And there's a lot of very exciting things going on. So if you're very much like me, and I am quite lazy, I'm not gonna lie, instead of looking online and searching and reading, I'm the first to go on Facebook, on the forums, and be like, what's happening? Tell me what's happening. But I thought, right, I'm gonna sit down and actually gonna have a read of this stuff. And I thought, why not make a video about it? It's just a lot easier, so people can come here and just watch it all in one go. I'm not going to be covering everything, but what I'll do is I'll try and cover the main changes, for my personal opinion, the main changes of what's actually coming out in 1.8. At the moment, there's nothing saying when it's going to happen. Normally it happens after the tournament's finished, but again, nothing has been set in stone, but it shouldn't be too far away. So if you want to have a look at where I'm getting this information from, I actually get it from the Ludia forums. The link is down below in the description. But the first thing I'm going to talk about is the top of the list of the sanctuaries. So I was a little bit confused with this. It seems to be kind of like a Pokemon daycare. If you remember, if you played Pokemon back in the day, basically you put your Pokemon in a daycare centre and you go off on your journey, and when you come back the Pokemon would have got stronger. So basically leaving a Pokemon in the daycare centre gives you rewards, but while it's in the daycare centre you cannot use it. It's also good for breeding, etc. In Pokemon, obviously this hasn't been released in Jurassic World Alive yet, when it could be. But basically you have to go without your dinosaur to get the rewards. So with the looks of things, you place the dinosaur in the sanctuary, and the higher level the dinosaur, the more rare the dinosaur, the more rewards you get back. There is a whole section on sanctuaries on the Ludia forums. Again, I'll put a link down below. I've had a read through and I've tried to kind of pick out, I think, the major questions that people were going to be asking. So with the looks of things, the sanctuaries are going to be all over the map. You actually got to place your dinosaur into the sanctuary physically on the map itself. So this was my first worry. I thought, my alliance, we all work together. I thought sanctuaries would be alliance based, which I'll go into in a minute. And my first concern was, my alliance leader lives in a different country. So how am I going to benefit from this as working in an alliance together? I dug a little deeper and I found out that you can share sanctuaries between your alliance, up to 100 I believe. It's not fully clear how you'll access each other's sanctuaries through the alliance, but I think it is via the alliance somehow. Basically, to get more rewards, you have to work together as an alliance. Well, it's best to work as an alliance, because if you do this as an individual, it's going to be quite difficult. But what you want to do is work together as an alliance to level up your sanctuary. So basically, the more care and time and resources you put into one, the more rewards you'll gain back. It seems to be that the dinosaurs don't stay in there forever. Maximum, I think, says was 2 weeks. Sorry, I was wrong. It's actually 40. I knew it was 2 something. I just read it through and I came straight on here. The creatures come back in 2 days. So you were 2 days without that creature in your roster. So be mindful of that. So for example, with the looks of things, you can only put up to Epic in. But say if you put a T-Rex in, because you need that T-Rex DNA, obviously. During that time, I don't think it's going to be available. So if you need to do any fuses, for example, for Indominus Rex or Indoraptor, you're not going to be able to use that DNA. So you need to bear that in mind. This is where I got the 14 days from. Sanctuaries are actually, they go on for 14 days, and during that 14 days, kind of like the alliance rewards, where you work towards it for 7 days and it resets, the sanctuaries seem to be coming to a reset every 2 weeks. So basically you build up your level, you get more DNA, and then after 2 weeks, bang, it's back to level 0 and you've got to work at it again. Further down reading, it just come across that you actually share your sanctuary in the chat I believe that's what it seems to be, and you can only share 100. I think the whole alliance has access to each sanctuary through the list by the looks of things, but like I said, you can only share a maximum of 100. Oh my god, this sounds so confusing. Are you with me? Because I'm quite confused. I'm excited, but I'm confused. There seems to be some sort of level cap as well. Similar to Pokemon, if you haven't got enough badges, you can't control the Pokemon. But the looks of things, there's a similar thing going on in the sanctuaries. You cannot put high level creatures in unless you're able to control them, as they would per se. The type of items you can use in the sanctuary are stuff as food, toys and playtime, and each dinosaur apparently likes different things, so it's up to you guys and your alliance to find out what the best way to get the DNA back is, what type of dinosaurs like what type of thing in the sanctuary. And finally, I think for this part, because it's again so confusing, you can put a maximum of 4 creatures in a sanctuary at a time. That is you personally. I'm not sure if there's a limit on the sanctuaries as a whole, but you can only put in 4 in at a time. To be honest, I am very, very grateful for this type of thing. I think there's been so much hard work being put into it behind the scenes with Ludia, and it's the fact that you can put dinosaurs in there that you don't see anymore. So for example, you know, incubator only creatures, Dimetrodon for all the Magnas, Baryonyx Gen 2, Irritator, the rare Irritator, I can't remember if it's Gen 2 or Gen 1, I think it's just Gen 1 Irritator, Erlichosaurus, T-Rex, things like that. You know, we can actually harvest DNA this way, which I think is, you know, it is fair considering how far this game has come and how many resources you need as you progress in this game. Obviously, the longer you play, the more resources you do need as a player, and Ludia do want to keep those types of players enjoying their game and keeping it fresh. So I do fully appreciate everything, and I'm just really looking forward to it happening, and I'm sure you guys are. Comment below what you think about the whole sanctuary idea, but again, there's a link down below for the specific sanctuary section for you to read through. Like, I recommend reading through 2 or 3 times because I have, and I'm still not fully understanding it. But moving on from the sanctuaries, we're going to the next topic. There has been a migration, guys. Things are going to change again. I enjoy having a migration because it just mixes things up and allows you to get your locals in a different area. At the moment, nothing has been put on MetaHub about the new local spawns, but I'm sure that will be coming up soon as well. So keep an eye on MetaHub. The link again is down below in the description. I'm mixing up my words. Description. The link is down below in the description for you to have a look at MetaHub for the new local spawns, but again, they haven't been updated yet, but that should be coming soon. So one of the other exciting parts of this update, which I normally always go for, I like skip everything else, is the new hybrids. Altogether there are 7 new hybrids, and I'm going to go through them now and just give a brief description. Again, I'll put it up on the screen, you can have a read, but just quickly go through them. There's a lot to go through, and I don't want this video being like 4 hours long, so I'm going to go through them and just personally give my own opinion on what looks really cool and could possibly be really, really dangerous. So the first one is Smilocephalosaurus. It's basically Pachycephalosaurus and Smilodon DNA. We all knew it was coming, guys. I didn't personally collect much Smilodon DNA because I tend to have favourites in the game and I stick to those, but now I wish I kind of did. So it seems to be quite a defensive swap-in type of creature. It's classed as a legendary. Personally, I don't know how it's going to fit into the new battle system and the new arenas, but again, guys, if you're going for it, let me know what you think about Smilocephalosaurus. So the next one is Diplovenator. It's classed as a legendary, and I'm sure you can guess what it's made out of. It's Diplocaulus Gen 2 and Concavenator. There are a lot of Concavenator fanboys out there that have been waiting for this for so long, so to be honest, I think it's going to look pretty cool. It's basically a high damage chomping dinosaur with a counter attack, I believe. So it has Definitive Strike, Instant Distraction, Distracting Impact, and Distracting Rampage, and Precise Shattering Counter Attack. So basically it's a massive counter attack machine. Without knowing too much about these, facing it, most likely a stunning or a distracting creature. But again, let's just wait till these hybrids come out, guys, and then we can go through in more detail. But that's the second hybrid that's coming out. Okay, this one's quite hard to pronounce, but it's called Desungia, and again, it's a legendary hybrid. It's basically a better version of Miragaia, and I know there are a lot of people out there who love Miragaia. I can't say this name very well, but it's basically Miragaia and Untitled. I'm probably saying that wrong, I'm sorry. But it's basically a combination of those two guys to make the legendary. It's basically a slower machine and has the ability to reduce your speed to 0, apparently, obviously if you're not an immune creature. It's not that fast, and I think it loses its regeneration. But again, I'm super excited, guys. Leave it there. Everything's up on the screen anyway for you to have a look at, and let me know what you think about these hybrids. So this is one of the ones I'm quite excited about, and it's called Patera Quetzal, or Terra Quetzal. Patera Quetzal, oh my god. I'm reading it and I'm saying it as it is. It's basically Pteranodon and Quetzalcoatlus. So the epic Pteranodon and the rare Quetzal. Now don't forget, Quetzal is a pack only spawn. I've been lucky enough to basically have just saved up the DNA. I see it regularly because there's a massive park down my beach. And I've got a couple of thousand DNA ready to go, ready to rock and roll to get this new hybrid. It's got defense, it's got impact and run, and it's got nullifying. But this is not what I'm excited about, guys. I'll come on to it soon, almost at the end. But for the final legendary of this now, it's called Cano Tarkus. So it's Purotosaurus with Woohoosaurus. I don't know how to say that name properly, but everyone calls it Woohoosaurus. The main thing about this hybrid is it's greater rendering counterattack. So rendering means from last update that it doesn't matter if you got a cloak or if you got a shield up, it's going to do 1/3 of the damage. So basically, if you hit this guy 3 times and you don't kill it, it's going to kill you. On to the final 2 hybrids. These are actually new uniques. I'm going to leave the best to last. So this one's called Ardentis Maxima. I don't know if I said that right. Yet again, like literally quarter of the day, I don't know if I said that right. So it's a moon. This thing looks scary. It's a moon. It's a speed control tank.
Wow.
This thing is going to be hard to take down. Do you know that hybrid that no one wanted with Sectontosaurus? It's that with Brachiosaurus. Ooh. Brachiosaurus, hard DNA to come by. So this unique is going to be very difficult to obtain, in my opinion. And guess what, guys? It can't be bled out. This thing is going to have a monster HP pool, and you can't bleed it because it's immune. It's basically a tanky immune Brachio. It's going to be pretty cool. Now, this is the final hybrid, and this is the one I'm most excited about because I tend to like the hybrids that look very raptor, carnivore-like. That's just the type of dinosaur I do like. I love all dinosaurs, don't get me wrong, but I'm more of a carnivore girl than a herbivore girl. And this name is pretty cool. It's Quetzalrion. That sounds really, really good. It's described as a unique, evasive and shielded fast damage dealer. And it's that new hybrid with the Pteranodon. Oh my god, it's been a long day. Pteranodon and Quetzal, and it's mixed with Tani. Finally, yay, Tani has a hybrid. Everyone's been waiting for this literally since release. Okay, so it has a swap in dodge, and it also has sidestep, which one of the new birds has it. The Terror bird has sidestep, which is a pretty cool move. It's got Nullifying Rampage. Now, nullifying for me is so important, especially in the Avery, when it comes to the cloaks, because it does my absolute Sweden anything that's boosted. Dioragosaur, Trichosaurus with its distracted impact, instant invincibility, Eurlodon with its cloak, Indoraptor with its cloak. Nullifying is very, very important for me personally. I don't know what you guys think, but for me it's very, very important to like getting, successful in the arenas. And this has Nullifying Rampage. Oh my god. So that is 2 times, it must be 2 times damage. So if it's fast and it's got a dodge and it's got Nullifying Rampage and swap in dodge and sidestep, wow, this thing is going to rely heavily on RNG, and it could be very, very dangerous, or it could be very, very easily killed, but we will see. But what a lot of people are going to be struggling to accept is, in this update, they have changed the way the dodge works in the arena. Basically now, if you dodge, you're not going to have 0 damage. You're going to take a 1/3 damage. So basically cloak is not going to be 100% successful. You can still hit through the cloak, but you're only going to take a 1/3 damage. And to compensate for this, I think a lot of things have had HP added and attack added. For example, Interrupter, I think they did buff Interrupter slightly because of this change. But what Ludia wanted to do is introduce people into using dodging creatures. I don't know why, they just love this dodging creature thing, but they really wanted people to just use the dodges and just, you know, mix things up and just not use the repetitive same team over and over that you see. And it's just nice to have a bit of excitement. I think that's what they're trying to promote anyway. And finally, I'm going to cover not all of them, but some of the major ones that have been some changes to the creatures. And the first thing is Dracoceratops has its attack increased. But don't panic, guys. It's had its ability changed. Basically, whereas the swapping Rampage would hit through everything, now it doesn't go through armor. So there will be some sort of leeway, whereas if you had 40% armor, you take 40% less damage. But still, I don't know if people are going to stop using it just because of that. But at least Dracoceratops is not this super OP thing that could literally one-shot a whole team just because it's been boosted up beyond belief. So that, I'm happy to see that change come in. I don't know what you guys think, but let me know. But I am very happy because personally, I do not use Dracoceratops, so it doesn't affect me. So a couple of things have actually had a buff. Thor has had its damage increased, but guess what also they've done? Critical impact limitator is now at 1.25 instead of 1.5. This was to compensate for the dodge taking damage. So instead of 1.5 damage, now it's only 1.25, but then they increased Thor's attack. So I don't know how that's gonna work. There's probably gonna be more balancing. There's probably going to be, but they've increased Thor's attack, but they've reduced the critical damage multiplier anyway. But the major two that I'm excited about personally is because I have them in my team is, well, not have them in my team, but I was leveling her up. Monostegotops has become very, very useful again. It's had a bit of a buff, but it's also had Nullifying Impact removed for distracting impact. So I think that would be very, very useful considering Nullifying Impact, because of the dodge thing, may not be necessary on Monostegotops anymore, considering it is bulky and it's got armor. So possibly in the future, Monostegotops may be making its way back into my team. On a sadder note, guys, Magna Pyrotator has been nerfed. Its HP has been cut. I'm very sad. I used all of my boosts on my Magna Pyrotator. But it doesn't make it useless. At the end of the day, it's going to be classed as a glass cannon. Personally, how far and I've come with it and how long I had to wait to get it, I'm not taking it out my team anytime soon. And to end this video, I'm going to pull a wild card. Pull a wild card, there's no card there, but pretend there's a wild card there. I personally think with all of the changes that have been made, the queen of 1.8 is, drumroll, Triastronics. My Triastronics has got me in some tricky situations. It's immune, you can boost it, you got decent HP, and guess what, guys? It's had an attack buff. It's had a buff. I can't believe it, it's had a buff. Can't believe it's had a buff. And considering with all the changes that have been made, I do really think, not going into much detail, but I think Triastronics is in for the win. Like if you can hit through the cloak now and nullifying isn't such an issue, it's a huge revenge killer. And guess what? It's immune. So it cannot be messed about or slowed down or stunned or any of those things. So I'm gonna leave her on that. I'm so happy. I believed in my trial, I believed in her, and I kept her in my team. She's level 25 now, mind. I know that's like not massive considering that there are people with level 30 dinosaurs, I know, but I didn't give up on her and she's level 25. So watch that space. If you've got an option to get Triastronics in your team and boost one up, I personally think that is the way to go. She has never let me down. And when the boost systems were introduced, she has never let me down, 100% since then. So I do think it's a decent dinosaur to invest in. But thank you so much for watching. It's just me rambling for another 20 odd minutes, I know. I hope this video helped just condense something down for you because there's so much information out there. Please, please, please comment down below. Tell me what you think. Jump onto the Facebook groups. I'm on there all the time. Jump onto my Instagram. It's down below as well. The link is gaming.els on Instagram, so at gaming.els. Jump on there, comment on my pictures. Let me know what you think, and I shall see you next week. Bye.